Yeah, thanks, Linz. I mean, Tosin, what a night. 8-0 flashing up here at Stamford Bridge under the lights. You set that ball rolling. Just describe the feeling of putting on this show for the fans tonight.
Yeah, it was amazing game from the boys, and we topped off with a clean sheet and a goal for myself.
84 seconds later as well, they just kept coming for fun. When they started coming for fun, what goes through your head?
For us defenders, it's just concentration. Make sure we get a clean sheet at the end of the game, and we managed to do so.
Yeah, and on a personal note as well, your first goal for Chelsea, your first in Europe. I mean, what are your friends and family and yourself thinking of that performance tonight?
Yeah, I've been thinking I need a goal soon, so I'm very happy to get one today.
In terms of half-time, you're 6-0 up then. What is the hunting we want 10?
No, I didn't actually. We didn't manage to get 10 today, but it was a very good result.
And in terms of not conceding as well, that must be important and a real pleasure for you guys as a team to be able to get as well.
Yeah, at the start of the game, that's what we set out for. It's been a while since we got a clean sheet, so we as a team are very happy to get one today.
Tosin, congratulations on your own performance and the win for the team tonight.
Thank you very much.
Now, there will be bumps in the road. Arsenal will come in here on Sunday, and that's a real tough game for the group. But it all looks like it's moving slowly in the right direction, and I think Enzo and his coaching staff should take a lot of credit for that.
Well, they were 6-0 up at half-time, but then Noah did improve a little bit in the second half and held out until the 69th minute, but then Christopher Nkunku was desperate to get in on the act, wasn't he?
Yeah, I was saying that actually when you get these high-scoring games as a striker, you start to get more and more annoyed that you haven't scored, so it was important for Nkunku to get on the score sheet. First attempt, I think he tried to obviously dink it, the keeper's done well, and I actually think this is a more difficult finish than it looks. The angle closes, but he just catches it well and gets his goal. I think that's his 9th goal of the season, so top scorer for Chelsea. He's one I look at and I go, he'll be actually disappointed he's not starting in the sort of so-called Premier League team.
And then they were awarded a penalty for a foul on Dewsbury Hall, Peter. Did you feel this was just a bit harsh?
So harsh. I felt like Dewsbury Hall actually fouled him. You look here, he goes in on him. It's a foul. He didn't touch the ball. Look, he just goes in and fouls. It's the other way. And how the referees give it after that, I've no idea. He's gone, had a look at it.
He's had a second look as well. That's the mind-boggling thing.
Yeah, and cut them some slack. I mean, they were struggling anyway. Last thing they needed was a penalty that shouldn't have been awarded. But Nkunku tucks it away really nicely, and he looked really, really sharp as well. So you'd be pleased. That's
exactly the position you want to be in when you're stepping up to take a penalty. Kind of not really much pressure on your shoulders at that point, was there?
Not a great deal of pressure, let's be honest. But he'll be desperate to score. Like Annie says there, I think he'll feel that he'd be one of the players that could get maybe in the starting 11 in the Premier League as well.
Yeah, 10 goals then now for the season, more than Mbappe, more than Mo Salah. He's doing pretty good. 2 tonight as well for João Felix. Joe, what did you make of his night overall?
I thought he was brilliant. He applied himself. You have to remember with João, he's a big star. He was like £100 million player at some point. His career's obviously gone in. It's gone here, there, and everywhere. But he's very, very talented. He wants to make Chelsea his home, and he's capable of doing these things. When he first came to the club, I was blown away by how good his movement was. This is actually what he needs to just take his game onto the next level. Finishing with that kind of composure, and if once he can bring this to his game, he can be a 20-25 goal a season man. Everything else in his game is on point. He's great on the half turn. He can assist. He's busy, and look at the desire there to get forward and get in the box, and like he could be forgiven for feeling sorry for himself because he should be a starter with his quality, but he's here and he's giving the manager a headache.
Has he got the hardest job though of all the players trying to get into that Premier League side because of who he's competing with?
Yeah, well, they've all got such a huge squad, and that is it. When you go to a big club, now it's going to be stacked with top players, and you have to perform to your level and more week in, week out to play. And when you don't, you find yourself out the side. But he sees that he's showing a great attitude, and that can only be good for the group.
Do you enjoy watching him, Annie?
Yeah, Jaffe, I mean, everything that Joe said, he's had, we've seen it for years, for Portugal as well, his talent, but it's about the consistency. It's about consistently doing it, dominating games, scoring goals, and edging his way into the starting lineup in these big games in the Premier League. Because I think players like Nkunku and João Felix will be almost disappointed that they're regularly playing at this level. They've got to do what they've got to do and score goals, but they'll want to be playing in the big games at the weekend. They want to be starting in those games. So it's how do you break in, how do you make statements like tonight to then get into the team at the weekend. And
Lucy said in commentary they'll be very pleased with a couple of goals from set pieces tonight, Peter, as well. A couple of headers from corners.
Yeah, good. I'll be stronger. And again here, it's a free header. I mean, he hasn't even jumped. He's just far too strong for them. And that's one thing, I think being maybe tactically unaware or being, not as good as the opposition, but you can still compete in the box, and they haven't done that on 2 occasions.
And nice to see Mark Gui getting his first goal for Chelsea, Joe, as well. You could see what it meant to him when he scored, couldn't you?
He hasn't had many opportunities, the lad. Like, he's clearly a talented player, come through the Barcelona academy, and he needed this, a gift.
Tactically unaware or being, not as good as the opposition, but you can still compete in the box, and they haven't done that on 2 occasions.
And nice to see Mark Gui getting his first goal for Chelsea, Joe, as well. You could see what it meant to him when he scored, couldn't you?
He hasn't had many opportunities, the lad. Like, he's clearly a talented player, come through the Barcelona academy, and he needed this, a gift. Open your body and lift it, and he really means a lot to him. He looks like, look at the press there. That is, you've not played all season really. You 1-0 up, bang, and you're in. You're still going. You're on the press. I mean, it'll be great for him. And he's another one in that bracket where he needs to find himself. Like Mudryk, he needs these games, like this lad here, because I said before the game, it's important that he keeps developing and doing that, and that's going to do him the world of good as well.
Best of the night.
Best of the night. I think he rolls it with the studs, opens his body, and for all intents and purposes, people you speak to about him in training stuff, he produces moments of magic consistently, and he just needs to find a way of bringing that from the training ground at Cobham into these games he started doing, and then into the Premier League games, and he will get better and better. He's a young man and he will learn.
What improvements are you seeing in him, Peter, the more minutes he's getting, Mudryk?
He looks more confident. I mean, there was a period maybe last year that you felt like his confidence looked shot to pieces. He felt like he was hiding. He didn't want the ball. Even when he had the ball, he would lose it, and there was a little bit of an air of like, we've wasted a lot of money here. But he's getting his confidence back. He's looking sharper. He's affecting games and he's scoring goals. But he needs to take that into the big games. Yeah,
the position Chelsea are in now, 3 wins out of 3 at the top of the group. Joe, it's a fantastic position when you think the next 2 fixtures may be a bit trickier, because Heidenheim have been fairly competitive in the Bundesliga, and then they've got a freezing cold trip in December to Astana. I'm trying to bring a bit of jeopardy to it.
Chelsea are comfortable. These games and this group will be dispatched quite comfortably, whatever team they take to these next 2 away games. The important thing for Chelsea is the progression and the line it goes on. Now, this tournament don't start for Chelsea really until we get to the quarterfinals and semi-finals, and they are massive favourites to win it, and so they should be with the quality at their disposal. But the Arsenal game there on November the 10th at the weekend, Leicester away is a winnable game, then Villa at home, and then Tottenham away. 3 of the next 6 games that's your tests. They're your tests for Chelsea.
So it's nice with those tough games that they are comfortable in the Conference League. We can hear now from the manager. Enzo Maresca is with Rachel Stringer.
Yeah, thanks, Lindsay. Enzo, firstly, congratulations. What's it like to watch that kind of match from the sidelines?
Well, thanks. It's always a bit, as we said before the game, tricky game, because everyone expected that we win the game, but at the end it's football. You have to play, you have to be serious, professional, and the most important thing is that once again the player, they show how serious and how professional they are.
And you really tried to focus on attack there, didn't you? You put a lot of players forward in different roles as well. And that's what, resulted in those 8 goals as well. 8 is what you got. The fans were cheering for 10. How impressed were you with the performance?
No, very impressed, especially because since we start, we are trying to change player every game. It works quite well, and the reason why I said many times is because we have good players, and all of them, they deserve to get minutes. Some of them now they are playing in the conference, some of them in the Premier League, but in the future, all of them they're gonna play Premier League game, and all of them they're gonna play conference game.
What pleased you most, maybe, about that performance, considering it was so one-sided?
Yeah, the how professional and how serious we have been tonight. I asked before the game. I said them that football is full of game where you expected to win games and then you drop for mentally you are not ready. And I think tonight they showed that, as I said, how serious they are.
Yeah, really strong mentally, and also first clean sheet for you guys since September. You must be proud of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I said we are in the right direction. Now the most important thing is to continue. Before the international break, we have one more game now Sunday, and then finally we have the international break that we can recover energy.
Any of the players that are playing tonight we might see play against Arsenal at the weekend?
We see.
João Felix, maybe 2 goals and assist. I'd love to have spoken to him. He had a great night.
Yeah, but I said many times I would like to play with Cole, with Joao, with Nkunku, with all the attacking players. The problem is that then you have to defend, and you need defensive balance. But the important thing is that all of them they are doing well.
And the penalty shout at the end as well. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall obviously went for you. That was your 8th and final goal. Possibly a little bit soft. Had to go to VAR, but went your way anyway.
Yeah, the referee decided for the penalty. Sometimes they don't decide for penalty when it's penalty. So it's just the decision from the referee.
9 points from 9. Sitting pretty. Good luck for the rest of this league. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks to you.
Well, he said the rotation is working well for them. What do you think of the way he is making that squad work?
Well, I think a lot's been said about, the amount of players that Chelsea have had at their disposal over the years. The squad needed to be trimmed down, but I think he's got the balance right. With games every 3 days, you have to understand as a coach how to rotate players, how to keep players hungry, how to keep training competitive so that you get results like this, and then you're able to turn around and play a big game at the weekend. So I think he's got that right. What I like about Maresca is he's clearly focused on player development. He's clearly focused on tactics. He's not getting involved in transfers and speaking to the owners and all of that stuff. I think he's an on-the-grass coach, and I think it feels more settled now. Less chaotic club Chelsea, and I think the performances are rolling in, and he's developing players. The players are playing for him. How
do you make sure that healthy competition stays healthy and doesn't become a problem for them?
I just think he's done such a good job. I can't speak highly enough of it. I just think from outsiders looking in, you thought, oh my God, this is just a joke. The amount of players they were buying, the amount of money they were spending, the amount of they had two dressing rooms, right, the training ground. It was 2 squads even. So the way he's managed it, he just drew a line and said, right, you're not part of my squad this year, and it's to some big players. With Ben Chilwell at England international, there was Sterling, we obviously big character, a legend in the Premier League. He's made big decisions, big calls, and you have to say it's working. And the players that are fringe players all want to play for him. We witnessed that tonight, but we've witnessed that throughout all the European campaigns. The players in the Premier League are performing. So you can't say anything negative about the way he's come in and done his job.
He's making those tough calls, Joe, but it obviously says a lot about the way he's making them and how he's dealing with it. That nobody's back seems to be up. Not yet, anyway.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's football club. You're constantly spinning plates. There'll be the next problem will be there tomorrow morning. It will turn up on your desk, I'm sure. But what he's done, I remember he spoke to us at West Ham, and we asked him about the problem of playing certain players and other players, which all journalists and media would ask him, and he just said, look, if they don't do what I ask them to do, they won't play. It's very simple, and left it hanging. And I thought that was brilliant. That's what you want as a player. You want clarity. This is what's required of me to play for Chelsea Football Club. If I'm not capable of doing it, I can move on. If the manager don't think I'm capable of doing it, we can move on. But then you work it out with the next part of the club, whatever it is. So everything is smooth at the moment. But as we've seen in football many times over the years, there's always a bump in the road. But I think everyone at this club will breathe a sigh of relief and be happy that it's very smooth at the moment. The river's smooth.
Good at the